Yeah.
You know?
What do you think about his comeback?
Interesting.
Yeah.
If anybody wanted to get bigger and get taken out of the pool, I would have thought John did it. I mean, that would be the move, you know?
Yeah.
Get super saucy.
I wonder if he saw the situation and was like, fuck.
Yeah, probably. Because he's trying to come back naturally. But he's fucking big as shit now. He's like 255, 260 now. The question is, that's a lot of time off. But if Francis Ngannou versus John Jones is the big fight, well, Francis has had to take a lot of time off as well because Francis had a torn MCL and ACL, had to get surgery, reconstructed his leg, rehabilitated it, out for over a year. So that, to me, is very interesting. I like that fight because Francis has had a lot of time off, John's had a lot of time off, and, you know, it's commensurate, at least close. I mean, obviously Francis has been more active recently, but at least that time off makes sense to me. And it's a very compelling fight. And I think John, his background, his resume does warrant an immediate shot at the title. He is absolutely one of the greatest fighters of all time. No ifs, ands, or buts. And him stepping up from light heavyweight, relinquishing the title, voluntarily saying, I'm done with this. I'm going to move up to heavyweight and be the heavyweight champ. And then building himself legitimately into a heavyweight and then documenting it all, showing all the deadlifts, showing all the squats, showing put on size and put on some body fat. That's compelling.
What do you foresee as, if it happened, what would be your prediction?
Well, the grappling of John Jones is very difficult to deal with. I mean, for a guy like Francis Ngannou, who was primarily a striker and was taken down on multiple occasions by Stipe Miocic and really dominated in their first fight. The question is, has Francis gotten better at grappling? Well, he definitely has because he beat JOEROGAN with grappling. That was the fight that he fought with his blown-out leg. And he fought JOEROGAN, who is a fucking phenomenal striker. I don't know if you saw JOEROGAN versus Tai Tuivasa.
Yeah.
Holy shit, is JOEROGAN good. He's so technical, so smooth, and his combinations are and Francis beat him with his grappling. So Francis's grappling, even with a fucked up leg, has gotten a lot better, but hasn't got to John Jones levels. That's the big question, because John took down Daniel Cormier, who's an Olympic wrestler. I mean, John's a fucking monster when it comes to grappling. And he's also just as tall as anybody in the heavyweight division, and he has a phenomenal understanding of distance. He's the very best at utilizing reach. But when he goes up, he's now fighting guys that are his height and and even bigger than him in Francis.
Yeah.
So how does he deal with that? How does he deal with a guy like JOEROGAN? How does he deal with these? It's interesting to find out. And I love the fact that, he really didn't want to do light heavyweight anymore. He's like, I'm done. I want a new challenge. I want to be a 2-division champion. But it's a long time. It's taken a long time.
How old is he now? Do you know?
I would imagine John's 35, 36 maybe.
What is peak fighter age? 35?
Around there. How old is he? He's 35. I think peak fighter age is probably 30 to 34.
Okay.
If I had to guess. And below, obviously. Some elite fighters are 26, 27. But when it gets to championship level, there's one thing like prospects. It's very rare that someone is at championship level that young. That's why John was so amazing. John was the youngest ever UFC champion and was as elite as anybody alive when he was 22 years old.
Yeah.
He was as good at everything as anybody was. He opened up the fight for the world title against Mauricio Shogun, who was a legend. He opens up that fight with a flying knee, which is crazy. Who does that? But that's John. He's just a wild, confident, risk-taking, skillful fighter who has one of the highest fight IQs I've ever seen.
Yeah.
His ability to know what to do and when to do it is just extraordinary. The thing about Francis, though, is he has nuclear power. It's a totally different kind of power.
Yeah, it's you get caught with one shot and you're just fucked.
He's a 265-pound natural 6'5" man. I mean, Francis is a monster. And he hits people where you just sit there and go, Jesus.
Yeah.
The Alistair Overeem one is the best example. He hit Alistair Overeem with a left uppercut / hook where Alistair's head snapped so far back he was looking at his ankles. Like it was just crazy. That knockout was just like, Jesus.
Yeah.
That's what Francis has. And when he knocked out Stipe Miocic to win the title, like, ooh. And, you know, John has to be very, very, very aware of that. Francis has a giant striking advantage. Giant.
Yeah, it's wild when you see guys like grind through 5 rounds and they still get caught at the end with like one shot, and it's just that's all it takes.
Yeah, Kamaru Usman and Leon Edwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like
my God.
the Pereira.
Yeah.
edit. We were talking about that last year, and I was like asking what you thought how it was gonna go, and
No.
yeah, can never fucking put your guard down or
Not
be
with
too
that
careful
guy.
with that guy.